So we are ready. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Ukraine Media Center. I'd like to remind you that we are supported by the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine and Ministry of Internal Affairs of Ukraine. And now, briefly about our schedule for today. Right now, we have Oleksii Biloshytskyi with us, First Deputy Head of the Patrol Police Department of Ukraine. Then at 3 p.m., we'll have Mr. Alexander Matuzyanek, spokesperson of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. We'll discuss with him the current operational situation on front line. And at 4 p.m., we'll have Alexander Markushin, mayor of the city of Irpin, who will tell us about the situation in that city, current situation in that city. So currently we'll hear from Oleksii about the patrol police operation during the wartime and what's going on about evacuation, about sabotage groups, and about crime as such. Oleksii, you're welcome.
Our international partners and friends and international media. Today I want to address you on this very important matter, and I want to address you personally and in English so everyone would understand me probably better without translation. So today I want to talk to you about the patrol police. As I was announced, I'm the first Deputy Chief of the Department of Patrol Police of Ukraine, and we have more than 16,000 officers under our command. And these days, I mean since the 24th of February, all the patrol police units are standing with our military forces, with our army, with our territorial units in one single goal: to protect our country, to stand tall before the enemy, and to protect our land. In every city where we patrol, and I want to enumerate that the patrol police is patrolling all the major cities of Ukraine, all the oblast centers, and all the major roads, all the highways. So these 16,000 people are the first responders, are those who are providing police services in all the major cities of Ukraine. And of course, besides of our regular duties, besides of what we do on a daily basis, we have a lot of additional duties right now. A lot of additional work that we do except policing. And I mean fighting the crime that we have never faced before, like marauders, like looters, like different anti-infiltrates, anti-reconnaissance groups, operations, and providing a lot of help to the citizens of Ukraine in this hour of need. And I mean organizing evacuations, coordinating humanitarian convoys, and helping our people in every need that they are. The patrol police is still standing in such cities as Mariupol, Chernihiv, Luhansk Oblast, which consist of different cities, but our main presence in Severodonetsk, in Lysychansk, in Rubizhne. We still stand in Donetsk region, where we patrol Kramatorsk and Slavyansk, but not only. We still stand in Mykolaiv, where together with army forces, we fight the enemy on a regular basis, on a daily basis, and we have a lot of successful operations, mutual operations with the military, with the army of Ukraine. And every and each patrol police officer is ready not only to provide police services, but also protect Ukraine and help our citizens. But I also wanted to address you on the matter, and I mean the whole international society, to underline again that Ukraine is fighting not just for our land, not just for our people, not only. We fight for the rights of having a right to be a democratic country. We fight for freedom. We fight for democracy. We fight for the notion that no country can be ruled from the outside and can be taught what to do by aggressors, by the countries that just want to overrule with evil over what other people are trying to build. So what we do right now, and I honestly believe it, we fight for the humanity. We fight for the democratic values that all the world cherish. So definitely what we do is courage, and what we have is courage, is passion, and readiness to fight to the end. But what we need is a constant help from the international society, for the international voice to be powerful and heard. And we need your help. So this is what I wanted to address you with. And I'm ready to answer any questions that you have with specifics that I can provide.
Прошу.
You're welcome. Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for your statement. I have several questions, if I may. First of all, are there any statistics about marauders across Ukraine? Are there any particular locations where you have more of those? Second question is also about marauders. What is done after they are taken from that scotch tape with which people glue them to the poles? What happens to them then?
The marauders, as I told you before, this is a crime and type of criminals that is completely new for the police services, for everyone, for the society. And of course, in this hour of need, in this very, very hard situation that our country is now, such people, to my humble opinion, are doing something that is maybe so disgraceful, so dishonoring, that the other people decide to act on the spot. So in a lot of cases, people who catch those marauders, who arrest those marauders, and I want to underline that any person, if he or she sees such kind of a crime, can arrest such a person, detain, and later give him or her to the police or other services. So in a lot of cases, when we come to to the crime scene, those marauders are already caught by people. And there are some kinds of, let's say, immediate punishment that you have seen on various pictures, various photos, and videos that are all over the net. So definitely when we come, we proceed with the legal proceedings, legal operations, and we charge those people with the charges that are in the criminal code, and that I want to remind you that were amended by the Verkhovna Rada, by our parliament, to be way more strict than before. So definitely those people are getting processed by the criminal procedures, but when we come to the scene. So if we actually see them in the positions that you've described, we cut off them from those pillars and proceed. But you know, sometimes they ask me if I blame those people who impose those immediate punishments. Actually, as a person, personally, I don't, because people who decide not to help others but commit such crimes, they actually, as I said, are disgrace for our society. As for statistics, as you may understand, we don't have the exact statistics of such crimes that were committed on the territories of all the cities of Ukraine. I would say that these situations are, we have a count of dozens and maybe hundreds. But if you ask me if it is very numerous, or if it is as numerous as I expected it to be, I would tell you this: it's not. So there are cases, but they are not so widespread because of the reaction of the public, of the people, and definitely police and other institutions. So I would say that our society is united before the enemy, and our society is united to help each other not to commit such disgraceful acts. So an answer to your question would be probably the statistics is not very high. So there are some cases, and we fight them.
Олексію, я, мабуть, задам.
Alexei, I'll probably ask yet another question. I understand that you just mentioned Luhansk Oblast or province Donetsk Oblast, that police officers continue to provide services there, to stay on duty there. We all understand that there it's not about usual policing activities. What are the specifics of your operations there? What do your officers mostly do there in those regions?
Because I wanted to elaborate on it even myself. So if we say about those very, I don't even know how to call it, distressful, maybe the situation is in some of those cities like Mariupol is probably disastrous. It's a humanitarian catastrophe, and you see it. And still, even in Mariupol, we still have our patrol police officers that are being led by the chief of the patrol police unit of the Donetsk Oblast, Mikhailo Vershinin, who is standing tall, who is still there with his patrol officers who are still there, helping the military, helping to fight the enemy with all they have. But besides, they also try and help the people who are still there. I mean, the civilian people who still need help, who don't have gas, electricity, water for almost or even more than a month, who need just like even simple treatment, simple remedies, simple even psychological help in this very, very hard moment of their life. And the situation there would probably, I have to say that people there, besides fighting the enemy, I mean real fighting, are doing everything they can to provide any help they can to the people who are left there. And there are lots of people there, lots of civilians that couldn't escape, that couldn't be evacuated, that are still there under heavy bombardment, under heavy fire from the enemy. This is the situation in Mariupol. The situation in Luhansk Oblast, Severodonetsk, Lysychansk, Rubizhne is getting close to Mariupol. Heavy bombardment, heavy fire. A lot of people are being evacuated. Right now, the chief of the Luhansk Patrol Police Unit with other forces of the National Police, and I want to underline that not only Patrol Police but also the other services of the National Police are doing everything they can. But from the Luhansk region, under heavy bombardment, we have helped to evacuate more than 5,000 people. And I mean that in the situations where bombs and mines were flying like very close, very close. We have a lot of our vehicles completely destroyed by the fire of the enemy. We try to help with vehicles. We try to help with other means for our people, the patrol police, to continue doing what they do. So the main thing, what they do in Luhansk region right now, again, besides fighting the enemy, is helping getting as many people as they can to safety. So from Donetsk region and from Luhansk region, we're trying to evacuate people. We're trying to help humanitarian convoys. We're trying to fight as much as we can and protect our people as much as we can. And also, I probably covered the Mykolaiv region, but what Mykolaiv does also, besides Luhansk region and Donetsk region, is also an act of bravery. And there were days when everyone thought that Mykolaiv is no more, that no resistance was possible. But actually those people, everyone who is there, everyone who is still fighting, proved that we're ready to fight to the end, and that we shouldn't say that it's over before it's really over. And the National Police and the Patrol Police, and you may know that the chief of the Patrol Police, Danila Vitali, is fighting there hand by hand with the military, and has gone through a couple of special operations, helping the military and fighting side by side with them, the enemy. And they have a couple of very, very successful fights on their account. And to my humble opinion, all the people that I named you right now are real heroes of Ukraine.
Є ще вопроси, друзі?
Any more questions, dear friends? No more questions? Yeah.
Before you ask the next question, I would also like to cover Kharkiv, which is also an important matter because this is the other city that is being destroyed by the enemy. With no reason, no aim, just destroying what people were building, destroying civilians, destroying our homes, destroying our buildings, destroying the way of life that we had in Kharkiv before, just with bombardments, with every possible weaponry that is in their arsenal right now. So Kharkiv is actually getting probably wasted and leveled with the ground day by day and probably hour by hour. So people who are still there and our patrol police units and our national police units who are fighting, who are helping people, who are trying to protect the city, still showing the enemy that they can take away our houses, they can take away something that we have created, but they cannot take away our freedom and our right to be called Ukrainians and our right to have our country.
Прошу, питання ваше.
You're welcome with your questions. Thank you very much. Another set of questions. Our today's topic was about arrests of sabotage groups. I'd like to ask you about what the situation in Kyiv, city of Kyiv at the moment, and maybe generally across Ukraine, in terms of statistics, as compared with the first days of invasion, what's the situation today? And one more question to which I cannot find an answer yet. Since Kyiv has been defending very well, thanks God, so how did those armored personnel carriers or armored personnel carrier get into the city of Kyiv? You remember during the very first days of invasion, there were situations when some armored vehicles came into Kyiv.
The matter of reconnaissance groups and infiltrates, Russian infiltrates into our cities, you must understand that Russia was preparing this whole catastrophe, this whole scene of this one big international catastrophe and crime and probably act of punishment, as they think it is, for a very long time. And some of the infiltrates and some of the reconnaissance groups were here, and I would probably admit it, and everyone understands it, for a long time before this whole thing started, before this war started. So definitely in the first days, they were triggered, so they were activated, and there were lots of them on the streets. Moreover, as we didn't face such a notion, such a activity before, definitely we had to adapt to the situation. So a lot of different actions were taken. And definitely a lot of groups, a lot of suspicious individuals were taken, were arrested, were actually worked with by different institutions that are fighting those notions like reconnaissance, enemy reconnaissance, like infiltrates and stuff. So the first days they were definitely numerous, but then because of the good work that was done by all the institutions, by the national police, by SBU, by other military institutions, which I don't name. They were actually, their number was fell drastically. But we definitely understand that some of them are still there, and we still have to do a very good job to find them, because they are not as seen as before. And here I want to actually thank the public of Ukraine, the people of Ukraine that were also very attentive, were suspicious enough to actually pass us the information, to give us the information about those groups, about those people that we could actually check. And a lot of such groups were caught because of the information we've got from the people who just spotted them. We also actually managed to block some of the activities because of the information, because of the pieces of information that we received from different people. So this is the other maybe evidence that the people of Ukraine, the Ukrainian society is like rock solid united before the face of the enemy. I cannot comment on the exact ways of how they did it, but as you know that it was stopped, and probably the military right now may make the investigations and make some kind of probably amendments to the plans that would be probably that would block or make it impossible in the future.
Друзі, чи маєте ще питання?
Friends, do you have any more questions? About roadblocks, checkpoints, operations, and about roads in Ukraine. There were videos during the first weeks of the war when people were panicking and they were moving along Ukrainian roads to the west, and there were huge traffic jams, and there were some videos where certain police officers were accompanying certain convoys of expensive cars. Say, there has been no evidence, but people suspect that it was about some bribes. So policemen would use their sirens, their alarms to accompany some rich people and whatever. Do you have any confirmation that such cases did happen, that some police officers did take bribes for such activities, for accompanying such people? And has there been any response from the leadership of the police to such cases?
I think that the situation we are right now, I mean, in our war, you should ask some different questions. And we will get back, and believe me, I'm very, very acquainted to those questions, and I was responding to a lot of them before war. And I think that they should be asked when we win. But I will gladly answer you that according to my information, there was no evidence of such deeds or illegal deeds from the side of police officers. And sometimes something that is that seems illegal is not so. And sometimes when we think that this convoy is probably not, shouldn't be escorted by the police, it is not so, because definitely we cannot, in these situations of war, we cannot expose and explain the information to everyone and even say who and why we escort, because this also could be used by the enemy. So I could gladly probably elaborate further on your question if you ask it when we win. Please remember it, and I'll tell you, and I can probably even name you every escort, why and when, if it's not classified.
Пане Олексію, дякую вам за таку інформацію.
Thank you, Oleksii, for this information. Thank you for your service, you and your police officers who, in those very difficult conditions, continue their services, continue helping people. Thank you for attention, and thank you for your support. Glory to Ukraine, glory to heroes. Dear friends, stay with us. I would like to remind you that at 3 p.m. we'll have a spokesperson from the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, and with him we'll discuss the current operational situation on the front lines. Thank you and see you.